Hey everyone, welcome back to VoxQueue. Today we've got some wild ones. Grab a drink, settle in, and let's get into it. Quick note, names are changed for privacy. Alright, first one starts quiet. Too quiet. This guy thought he was in a stable, mature relationship. Turns out, he was just in a relationship where the rules kept changing, and somehow, he was always the problem. He'd been dating Lena for about a year. Nothing explosive, no screaming matches, no dramatic breakups, just steady, calm, or at least that's what he thought. The first red flag didn't feel like a red flag, it felt like care. "You're going out again tonight?" Lena asked, smiling. "Yeah, just Marcus and Ben, same crew." She tilted her head. "It just feels like you need a lot of space lately." He blinked. "It's once a week." "I'm not saying don't go," she said softly. "I just feel a little abandoned." And that's how it started. Every time he did something independent, it became emotional leverage. "You care more about them than me. I just wish I was a priority. I guess I'm just not enough." Classic emotional pressure disguised as vulnerability. He started canceling plans. Marcus texted, "Bro, you alive?" He replied, "Yeah, just busy." Busy managing feelings that somehow kept becoming his responsibility. Then came the narrative shifts. One night, he brought up something small. "Hey, when you joked about me being cheap in front of your friends, that kind of bothered me." She laughed. "It was a joke. I know, but you're so sensitive lately." "I'm not trying to be. You always twist things into problems." That's gaslighting 101. Minimize, redirect, reframe. He started second-guessing everything. One afternoon, he overheard her on the phone with her sister. "I feel like I'm carrying this relationship emotionally," Lena said. He froze. Carrying? He was the one apologizing constantly. Later, he asked her about it. "You said you're carrying the relationship?" She sighed dramatically. "I can't even vent without you interrogating me." "I'm not interrogating, You see, this is what I mean." Narrative reversal. Suddenly he's the aggressor. The real fracture happened at a dinner party. Her friend asked, "So when are you two moving together?" Lena laughed. "He's scared of commitment." He nearly choked on his drink. "What?" She shrugged. "You said you weren't ready yet." "I said I wanted to wait until my lease ends." "That's the same thing." It wasn't. On the drive home, he said, "Why did you say I'm scared of commitment?" "Because you are." "I'm not. If you weren't, we'd already be planning." "I never said that." She went quiet. Cold quiet. Then came the nuclear sentence. "Sometimes I think you're just wasting my time." That hit. He started scrambling, offering more, doing more, planning more. She pulled back. Now she was confused. "I just don't know if you're emotionally mature enough." Emotionally mature enough? He was the only one trying to have calm conversations. Eventually, he found out she'd been telling mutual friends he was distant. One friend pulled him aside. "Are you okay? Lena says you've been shutting her out." He stared at him. "I've been trying to talk." "She said you don't open up." He laughed, not because it was funny, because it was insane. When he confronted her, "Why are you telling people I'm emotionally unavailable?" She crossed her arms. "Because that's how it feels." "I never said that. I shouldn't have to spell everything out." And there it was. Undefined expectations, moving goalposts, image control. The final moment came during what she called a serious talk. "I think we need a break," she said gently. "Why?" "I need someone who's more secure." He just stared at her. "You spent a year telling me I wasn't doing enough. Now I'm insecure?" She didn't answer. A week later, he found out she was already seeing someone else. The secondary consequence? Half the friend group quietly distanced from him. Not aggressively, just less invites, less messages, because she'd already framed the story. He didn't lose just a girlfriend, he lost reputation. And the worst part? It took him months to realize he wasn't the unstable one. He was just responding to constant psychological pressure. If you thought that was messy, now this next one is a different kind of chaos. This one's workplace, and this one cost someone their promotion. Daniel worked in a mid-sized marketing firm. 5 years in, solid performance, no drama. His manager, Carla, was charismatic, sharp, well-liked. At first, she seemed supportive. "You're my go-to guy," she'd say. "I trust your instincts." Then slowly, credit started shifting. He pitched a campaign idea in a one-on-one. Carla nodded. "Brilliant, let's refine it." At the team meeting, she presented it. "Our department's new direction," she said confidently. Daniel waited for acknowledgement. It never came. Afterwards, he pulled her aside. "Hey, that campaign idea. We're a team," she interrupted. "I know, I just thought maybe you want individual credit?" She smiled thinly. "That's not very collaborative." That's credit parasitism paired with image control. Over the next few months, she'd edit his emails before sending them upward. "Let me polish this," she'd say. The polished versions removed his name. Then performance review season hit. "You've plateaued," Carla told him. He blinked. "Based on what?" "Your visibility is low." "My visibility? You don't advocate for your ideas." He nearly laughed. "You present them." She tilted her head. "You're free to speak up." At the next leadership meeting, he did. He presented directly. Carla's expression hardened. Afterward, she pulled him into her office. "You embarrassed me." "How?" "You blindsided me. I thought you said I should advocate. You did it in a confrontational way." "I just spoke." "You need to understand hierarchy." Power imbalance exposed. Then the twist. An email thread surfaced. A senior director accidentally CC'd Daniel on a message praising Carla's innovative campaign strategy. It was his campaign. He replied carefully, "Thanks, glad the concept resonated. I'm proud of the groundwork we developed." Minutes later, Carla stormed over. "Why did you reply all?" "Because it was my work." She lowered her voice. "You're being petty." Petty. The week before promotion decisions, she scheduled a concern meeting with HR. Daniel's been exhibiting combative behavior. He sat there stunned. "Combative? You undermine leadership in meetings." He looked at HR. "By presenting ideas?" Carla folded her hands. "It's about tone. Tone policing, reputation management defense."
The promotion went to someone else. Not more qualified, just less threatening. Daniel started documenting everything, saved drafts, timestamps, version histories. 3 months later, a major client requested clarification on campaign development. Daniel calmly forwarded original files with creation dates. The senior director noticed. A private meeting was scheduled. "Why didn't we know you led this?" the director asked. Daniel replied evenly, "I assumed credit was shared." Carla's face said everything. Internal audit followed. Not dramatic, not public, but quiet scrutiny. Carla didn't get fired, but she was removed from leading strategic initiatives. Daniel transferred departments. Secondary consequence? Carla's reputation shifted from visionary to territorial. Daniel didn't win loudly, but he didn't lose quietly either. And that's the difference between reactive anger and strategic patience. But this last one? This one is strategic and brutal. Amira married into what she thought was a stable family. Her husband, Ethan, was charming. His mother, Janice, was overly involved but friendly. At first, boundary erosion started subtle. "You don't cook like our family does," Janice would say, smiling. Ethan laughed. "Mom's just traditional." Holiday plans? Always at Janice's. Decor choices? Janice had opinions. One afternoon, Amira suggested they spend Thanksgiving with her side. Janice went silent. Ethan later said, "Mom feels replaced." Replaced? She just doesn't want to lose me. Emotional triangulation. Then came the baby. Janice intensified. "I'll handle the nursery," she declared. Amira said gently, "We'd like to choose." Janice's smile vanished. "I raised 3 kids." At a family dinner, Janice announced, "Good thing I'm here. Amira gets overwhelmed." Amira blinked. "I'm not overwhelmed." Janice waved her hand. "You don't have to pretend." Narrative creation in real time. Ethan rarely corrected her. When Amira confronted him, You let her talk about me like I'm incompetent. She doesn't mean it. It's constant. You're reading into it. Gaslighting adjacent, minimizing repeated boundary violations. The breaking point came when Janice shared private medical details about Amira's pregnancy complications at a church gathering. Amira found out when a stranger approached her. "We're praying for your condition." She felt her stomach drop. At home, she asked Janice directly, "Why would you tell people my medical information?" Janice clasped her pearls. "They care. That was private. I'm the grandmother." Ethan intervened softly. "Let's calm down." Calm down. Amira didn't scream. She pivoted. She began documenting everything. Screenshots, voicemails, comments. Then Janice made her move. In a family group chat, she wrote, "I'm worried about Amira's emotional stability. She's been isolating Ethan from us." Isolation accusation, reputation weapon. Amira didn't respond immediately. She waited. 2 days later, she sent a long message to the same group. Calm, structured, time-stamped. "Here are instances where I asked for privacy." Attached screenshots. "Here are comments made about my parenting." Attached audio clip. No insults, no emotion, just evidence. Then she added, "I want a healthy relationship, but not at the expense of boundaries." Silence hit the group chat. Ethan called her. "You embarrassed my mom." I corrected a narrative. She feels attacked. I felt exposed. Extended family members privately messaged her. "I didn't realize. Thank you for clarifying." Janice attempted damage control. I was misunderstood, but credibility had shifted. The secondary consequence? Family holidays changed. Neutral locations, clear rules. Janice wasn't exiled, but she wasn't unchecked anymore. And Ethan? He finally saw the pattern when confronted with documented proof. "Why didn't you tell me it was this bad?" he asked. "I did," she said quietly. "You didn't hear me." That line ended the illusion. Strategic exposure beats emotional pleading every time. Here's the pattern across all three. Control rarely looks like control at first. It looks like vulnerability. It looks like collaboration. It looks like concern. In Story 1, emotional leverage slowly rewrote reality. In Story 2, credit parasitism masked as teamwork nearly cost someone their career. In Story 3, boundary erosion escalated into public narrative warfare. The escalation isn't just louder arguments, it's scale, private manipulation, professional distortion, public exposure. And the gray area? None of these villains thought they were villains. They justified it. "I just feel abandoned. We're a team. I'm just concerned." Intent doesn't erase impact. What makes this Tuesday-level moral gray is that every situation had plausible deniability. Nothing illegal, nothing explosive, just slow psychological pressure. So here's the question. Which one crossed the line the most? The partner who reshaped reality until someone doubted themselves? The manager who weaponized hierarchy to siphon credit? Or the mother-in-law who used public sympathy as leverage? Because escalation isn't just about volume, it's about reach, private doubt, career damage, public reputation. And once reputation shifts, clawing it back takes strategy, not emotion. That's the through line. This is VoxQueue, and around here, we don't just read the drama, we break it down. I want to know, who crossed the line the most? Drop your take below. I read all of them. I'll see you in the next one.